According to the South African Food Sovereignty Campaign, around 14 million people in the country went to bed hungry before the national lockdown almost 2 months ago. It says the situation is much worse now under lockdown.
Food, as well as the lack of income, is going to give us a very rocky road going forward. If we do not tackle these two issues, and there are enough answers in these conversations, we do not tackle these two issues, South Africa under lockdown is going to be a very volatile place, okay? We are not going to be able as a society to rise to the challenge of dealing with the COVID pandemic. People are going to be on the streets because of hunger. They're going to be on the streets because they have no money.
The campaign has also lambasted the closure of community food kitchens during the lockdown.
The government would like NGOs to apply for 48 hours to DSD officials and SABC and disclose the contents of the food packages. And also the whole clamping down on closing down of food kitchens that are run by churches that have been doing it for many decades and feeding the many homeless that are not able to access electricity and homes to be able to cook the raw food that can be supplied.
They also say food parcels that are being distributed by the government and the Solidarity Fund are not enough to feed large families.
We have heard of food parcels being distributed of 1,200, 1,500 and 1,700. When we look at the cost for a household of 7, it is 3,470. So these food parcels are not sufficient to feed a family.
The Solidarity Fund has acknowledged that food parcels may be inadequate.
This food relief would be directed as a stopgap measure while the other systems kind of came online. And we were aware that our food relief is not necessarily a systemic solution, it is relief. And that actually, when we're thinking about longer-term systemic solutions, we would look into our next phases of work to think about what that might look like.
The Solidarity Fund says so far it has spent 120 million rand on buying and distributing food parcels to needy families around the country.